What's up, guys? It's Jersey John here, and I want to talk to you about a hand, alright? So, I was playing at the Silks the other day, and if you guys don't know, Silks is located in the suburbs of Tampa. Really soft poker room, really soft, great. Actually, I would say the best 2-5 game in the state of Florida. Guys with lots of money. Donkey Dan is there every single night with, last night, how much money did you have in front of you, Donkey?
I ended up almost $3,000 going home.
There you go. You can't get it.
And that's in the donkey.
Yeah, it's free money. I'm telling you, it's free money. Now, I had an interesting hand. I played it a little bit differently than I've been playing some hands in the past. Partly because I haven't been getting kind of the results that I would like. And, you know, you have to adjust based upon how people are playing. And oftentimes the most minute details can affect drastically how much money you make or lose on a hand. So, alright, I have ace queen, and it's a straddle pot, so it's 2-5-10. I'm in early position, and I raise it to $30. Now, I would actually suggest to some players maybe to fold in this position, ace queen, because in a straddle pot there's less big blinds. Oftentimes it's tougher to play out of position. But all right, I'm going to man up. I played ace queen. I get 3 callers, and actually I get 5 callers, 4 callers. We're 5 ways to the flop. All right, and the board comes queen 10-6 with 2 hearts. Now, all right, I got top pair, top kicker. And it's a wet board. That's what we would describe this as a wet board. There's a lot of straights, flush possibilities, lots of different things that can happen here. I'm out of position, and I'm going to continue to bet. So the pot's like 150 at this time, and I lead out for $85. Guy to my immediate left, he'd been losing all night, buying in short. He's got to be a bad player. Guys, when you see a guy buying for $200, he's not a good player. Alright, you always know that. And so he calls the 85. He's actually got about $400 behind. It folds around, and the turn comes out a queen. Alright? And no, I messed up. The turn came out a deuce. Alright? When we do the show, I promise you, I'm going to have the hands laid out better. But the turn comes out a deuce. Alright? Now, I'm thinking about what can I bet here that A, he always calls, I never get him to fold. How can I make him make a mistake? How can I maybe represent something different than I have? Now, here's the facts, is that there was $150 plus $170, so that's, what, $320 in the pot, and he has about $425, $450 left. And so the pot's really big. Now I could bet for value here, and a lot of times I would. A lot of times I would just continue. Maybe I'd make a bet of like $200 in the spot, and he'd leave himself $200 behind. And sometimes they would call this $200, and I would go all in on the river, or put them all in, I should say, and then they would fold, and I would miss out on that money. And the reason why I did this is because I always was trying to get the call 100% of the time when I knew when their range was weaker than mine and I'm trying to extract value. So anyways, this time I shove and I'm betting over the pot. Alright? Now, it's difficult though. Like, you don't want to overbet the pot all the time in this spot. You got to know your players. But anyways, he thought for a little bit. He actually turned over his hand. He had king 10 of hearts. It was a big hand. You know, I actually don't expect him to fold this hand, you know, very often. And that's why I actually made probably $200 more than I normally would, because he's got a hand that he's never folding. But he could just call it 200 and fold the river when he doesn't improve. He knew that he had to improve. He knew he didn't have the hand, but his hand was too good to fold. So anyways, he had to call. He called. I won the pot. I stacked him, and I won a decent amount of money on the hand. And anyway, sometimes, here's the moral of the story, guys. Sometimes when things aren't going your way, and you think that you understand the game well, and you're doing the right things, but maybe switch up a little things. Try things a little bit different, because normally, if things aren't going the way you want them to, it's probably because you're not making the exact perfect decisions every time. So anyways, Jersey John here. Donkey Dan, you got anything to say, man?
I got a lot of questions, brother.
Do you really have a
Yeah,
question?
but what I'd like to do is
Yes.
now play this video back and pause it when I have questions and say, what did you mean here and what are you talking about
That's
here?
what we got to do. We got to we're going to have set on the board, on the screen so we can go through the hands. In fact, I got to prep the hands.
Right.
So I'm not making mistakes with the board and everything like that. So
I think that would be awesome for you to do exactly what you just did.
Yeah.
Play that and have me have a pause button and say, okay, hold on a second. You
Yeah.
just said a guy who buys in here for 200 is a donkey. Explain what you're talking about and why that is a bad move for the guy. Because
Well-
now, when you're saying this stuff and you're going blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
that's great for guys who understand everything you're talking about. But we're trying to help people and educate them.
Yeah.
And they might not know why is that a bad move. So
Exactly.
let's stop right here. And I don't want to interrupt you when you're going because then it'll ruin your hand history.
Yeah.
And you'll forget what your point is. But I'd like to record it like that.
Yeah.
And then stop it. So we're not you got your whole thing done,
Yeah.
and then say, John, what does this mean when you're
there's
saying
the
this?
format right there. Is that I go over the hand and then you ask the questions that people are thinking about at home.
Right, but not live. You do that first. We record that.
Yeah.
Then we stop it, and I interview you about the hand history. Because if I stop a hand history in the middle, you're going to lose all over like what you were thinking about, what you're trying to say. If you say the whole hand history exactly the way it is,
and then go over it again.
then we go
I
over
agree.
it. That could be pretty friggin' cool. And put the hand up there so they can see it.
All right. Well, you heard it, guys. Donkey Dan's excited about
There
this
we
whole
go.
process, but I tell you what, guys, go to Donkey Dan
DonkeyDan.com.
at Twitter.
At Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we'll
Jersey
make something.
John, ask us a question. Tell us how bad we play at poker. All right. Make fun of us. Whatever you want to do, just go sign up at Twitter if you haven't already. Check out the Facebook page.
Facebook.
All right.
Yep.
And then we'll see you at the Feld. All right, guys.
Right.